Okay, good morning. Welcome back to the Daily Thread.
It's a new week. Baruch Hashem. It was a great weekend, and it's a beautiful day in New York today.
Yeah, can we talk about that for a second? This has got to be the hottest November 6th, November 7th. We have a producer in the studio. Can we get a fact check on what was the hottest November 7th in history? Because I think it's got to be.
I don't know. It's going to be 75 degrees today, but I always think, I think that the seasons have a certain character to them. Yes. And this was a very intense, very hot summer.
It was.
And it doesn't want to let go so easily. So there's like a tug of war going on right now between autumn and summer.
You have a very good imagination to think about it like that.
Well, that's where you get it from, I guess.
Very good.
Maybe.
So I don't know. I know yesterday when I looked at this day last year, what the weather was, 48 degrees was the weather.
When, last year?
Last year, November 6th, it was 48 degrees. And today it's 9:30 in the morning when we're recording this. And right now it's 72 degrees in Cedarhurst.
I have to tell you that, I don't know if it's just me, but when you're in Florida and it's only like a 10-degree difference between Florida and New York, you feel like you're wasting your time.
You enjoy it less?
Yeah, I like when it's 32 degrees here and 83 degrees there. That's more meaningful.
Isn't that called Schadenfreude?
I don't know what it's called. It's called meaningful, being away in a meaningful fashion.
Okay, well, let's do what we always do. Let's dive into the email box. We got quite a few emails this morning. I'm just going to pick.
You got them this morning?
I got this over the weekend.
Okay.
And the person didn't leave a subject.
Okay.
It's good discussion. Do people leave subjects when they send emails anymore? When you're emailing somebody, you got to put a subject in.
Or maybe it's more intriguing not to have
Interesting. Well, let's read this. Hi, I cannot express my appreciation for what you're doing with the Daily Thread.
Okay,
As part of the Nakadesh initiative, I got off social media and limited my ability to watch a lot of things that I used to watch. One of the things that has been hard for me is not watching the daily news and shows. It made me feel part of the world in a good way, but I knew there were many jokes and topics that were exposing me to things that I would rather not be exposed to, and potentially my kids as well, now that I have kids of my own. The Daily Thread is a lifesaver. It's a kosher way to continue knowing about important topics going on in the world, coming from the angle of from Jews Hashkafa. I wish you guys did them all 6 days of the week. The podcast is enjoyed so much and very appreciated. Thank you for bringing something to the from world that has never been brought before. You heard that? We're lifesavers.
Yeah, well, maybe we could just sit here all day long and just do it nonstop all day long. That would also be helpful to a lot of people. You know what? I don't think, listening to that, I don't think I understand the nature of people's impulsiveness. I don't want to say addiction to all the social media, because I don't think I have that. I mean, You're
also 70 years old.
No, I'm not 70 years old yet, and I'm a while away from that, actually.
How many days?
Not days. It's a while away. So
I'm curious. Are you not comfortable about your age?
I'm comfortable with it. I'm very happy to have reached this point in my life.
So why are you?
It wasn't even on the agenda today to discuss my age. I remember when you were in a crib and you methodically disassembled the crib. You were taking out the screws, and one day you just escaped from the crib.
You worked away from that question pretty well.
If you want to discuss age, we could discuss age.
No, let's discuss a more important story that's happening, and that is.
No, I was talking about impulsiveness, and I really want to say addictions, but I get a report from my telephone about how many hours a day I spent on the screen.
Yeah, what's that? What's your daily?
It could run 7 to 8 hours a day.
No way.
Yeah,
you're on your phone 7 to 8 hours a day.
Yeah, everything. A part of my business day.
Wow.
I'm not playing Tetris.
Hey, give me your phone.
No, I'm not. You can't touch my phone. It's a brand new phone.
Can let me see your screen time.
No, I'm not.
Why can't?
I'm not today. I'm not giving it to you today. I'm not giving you to today.
Why? It's at 12 hours your screen time?
No. I told you it's between 7 and 8 hours a day.
Mine is not even like that. You want to see mine?
First of all, somebody wrote a letter last week. They want to know why does Nahi constantly have different phones in his hands. I only have one phone. How many phones do you have?
I have 3, but
who has 3 phones?
Well,
what are you? Yehuda Gordon? You juggling your phone?
Shout out to our nephew.
Like your nephew?
Okay, my daily average
is.
Well, to be honest, the week just started, so it's not fair.
Okay. You want to see my daily average?
Yes, I do.
Let me see who's WhatsApping me.
You see, you're checking your WhatsApps. Let me check your daily average.
Oh, geez, you dropped one of your phones. Luckily, you have two more.
Oh, wow. 7 hours and 3 minutes?
I told you.
That's insane.
No, Naki, everything that I do is on this phone.
No, but I'll tell you, I
you know
think
what's
that
going on this phone?
I think that you go to sleep listening to podcasts and radio, so that's counted. But I don't think you're actually on your phone then.
Say that again.
I think you go to sleep. I think you go to sleep listening to podcasts and radio stuff, so that's counted as screen time. I think
it does. I don't think so.
Mine is at 3 hours and 23 minutes.
I listen to the radio.
But you know what? I think that's just this week.
No, I think it's FaceTime when you're looking at the thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't belong. I'm not on Facebook. I'm not on TikTok.
You are on Facebook. You have a Facebook.
No, but I'll go on it.
Okay.
I'm not on Twitter.
No,
okay?
you're not.
I'm not on any of these things. This is just a matter of WhatsApps. I'm in a lot of WhatsApp groups. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm a lot of emails. You know, take a look how many unopened emails I have.
This is gonna be problematic.
Yeah, it's not gonna be problematic. You're problematic. 1 second. Yeah. How many unopened emails do I have?
You have. Okay, 1 second. You have 504,350 unopened emails.
Okay, there you go.
504,000.
That's just in one day.
What?
People,
What percentage of that is spam?
I don't listen. Let me tell you something. We publish a very popular newspaper that gets attention around the world, called the Five Towns Jewish Times. In case you can't see it over here on the screen, because you don't put anything on the screen. You don't want to mess up the screen. But I get a constant flow of emails from all over the world. News conferences, press conferences, special events. I get from every university in Israel, from every yeshiva in the world.
I think we gotta start deleting those emails.
Oh, I could delete them in one shot. I have a guy who deletes it a few times a year for me, but it accumulates very fast.
Interesting. This just in. The producer sent us that in 1938 it was 78 degrees.
All right.
I'm guessing since 1938 there has not been a warmer day.
What's temperature today? What's temperature
right now? It's 72. You think we'll break that record?
I don't think
so.
Well,
1 second. This is Cedarhurst. In New York City, it's supposed to hit 75.
Wow. But what about tomorrow? Tomorrow's going to be much cooler.
Tomorrow is supposed to be 57 degrees. Unbelievable.
And by a week from today, you're going to be freezing here.
I know. Let's jump into the first news story for today. And this is coming out of Des Moines, Iowa.
Des Moines. You don't pronounce the S.
Can I ask you a question? There's two S's in the words Des Moines. Des Moines. There's DES and then MOINES. You don't pronounce both of them?
It's Des Moines, Iowa.
Why would they put two S's and not pronounce any of them?
When you eat two types of fish for dinner, do you eat fishes?
What?
Are you eating fishes?
Okay. Anyways,
you're cutting that out anyway.
I'm gonna leave that. Des Moines.
Des Moines.
I knew that.
It's Des Moines.
But that
Iowa.
was scripted. We're supposed to have more content.
All right. It comes out of Des Moines, Iowa.
Out of Des Moines, Iowa.
It comes from a thing I get every single day called Israel Insider.
Yes. The first news story for today is Maccabee's Kosher Deli in Des Moines is a hotspot for politicos and presidential hopefuls from around the country who make their way to the Iowa Capitol to gauge their popularity with those Americans who are among the first to cast their primary ballots. I guess the ballots open up there first.
Well, finish that, then I'll comment
okay.
on it.
But on Friday afternoon, the most recognized customer wasn't a senator testing the waters or a local official, but second gentleman Doug Emhoff, who's married to
Kamala Harris.
To good old Kamala, but who was in Iowa for the day. Emhoff spent more than an hour at Maccabee's, which was opened 21 years ago by Rabbi Yossi Jacobson and his wife Chana, not the famous Rabbi Yossi Jacobson.
No, he's busy.
The second gentleman, who was accompanied by Iowa native David Edelman, a principal with the Cornerstone Government Affairs and the president of the Foundation of the Jewish Federation of Greater Des Moines, ordered the deli's popular Roosevelt sandwich, a turkey and pastrami hybrid that the menu promises is a hot and tasty solution for your hunger.
Turkey and pastrami.
Yeah, is that?
That's very good with mustard.
Why was Doug Emhoff there?
So Iowa, like the story said in the beginning, first of all, there's a national election tomorrow.
Yes.
Everyone in the House of Representatives is up for re-election. There's a bunch of senators up for re-election. Of course, we have some hot governor races, especially here in New York with, what's her name, Kathy Hochul and Lee Zeldin.
I think it's Hochul, right?
Hochul, yeah.
We've always said Hochul here.
It's a regional. If you're from the Five Towns, you can say whatever you want.
Okay.
And no one's going to disagree with you. Hochul. Hochul rhymes with yuckle. It's easy to remember.
Okay.
So, what was I saying before you interrupted me?
Sorry for interrupting you.
Once the election is over tomorrow, on Wednesday of this week, that'll be November 9th, the race for president in 2024 begins. That's why these people are in Iowa, because Iowa is one of the first, as I said in the story, is one of the first states in the country that has a primary or some kind of straw poll, whatever they call it. I have to look it up. But it's the first indication of who people might be thinking about to be the next president of the United States. So if you're trying to tell me that the second gentleman, Douglas Emhoff, the husband of Kamala Harris, was there for the pastrami and turkey sandwich on rye with mustard, please don't believe it. He's there to test the waters for Kamala Harris, who may be the candidate for president from the Democratic Party in 2024.
You really think so? She's going to run for president?
Well, she's the vice president now. I don't think she's going to be able to see the whole thing through. I think
is Joe Biden going to make another run for it?
I don't think the organized Democrat Party believes that. He should be well. He should stay healthy and be well. I don't think politically they believe nothing to do with his age.
He already is 82 years old, no?
No, he's just turning 80, or that he is cognitively impaired. None of that is a consideration. Politically, he's been a disaster for the Democrat Party, and we'll have a clearer picture and clearer understanding of that after tomorrow's election. There'll be something between hopefully a red wave and a red tsunami, they're calling it, depending on, the Republicans have to take control of the country. The man, his administration has presided over, has done the most damage to the United States of America since Jimmy Carter and the Iranian hostage crisis in 1979. That's a lot of years. That's more than 40 years.
But Tachlis...
Tachlis on the pastrami and the turkey.
No,
that would be my choice. I would go for corned beef and pastrami.
But life must be good if you get to just travel to Iowa for a nice pastrami sandwich.
Well, listen, there's no budget, there's no cost consideration. There are people who support Kamala Harris for president in 2024. The first woman of color, the first female potentially as a president. There are people who genuinely just support people based on these exterior, superficial type of considerations. And she is one of them. Now, of course, we know Doug Emhoff is Jewish, and Kamala Harris is his second wife, and he has two children from his first marriage, and his two children call Kamala Harris Mamala. Okay, so it's like that's almost as Jewish as a bagel and a schmear. Everybody knows. All American Jews know what a bagel and a schmear is. They don't know Aleph Beis, but they know what a bagel and a schmear is.
Before we get,
and they know what a mamala is. Go ahead.
I don't want to get lost on the food tangent again.
Oh, where are we?
I think we're in pastrami. But before we get to the elections that are happening tomorrow, just ignore that. Before we get to the election,
Tuesday's election, November
that is
8th.
happening tomorrow. The hard-hitting question that's on everyone's mind, which I think we already know the answer to, is Donald Trump going to be running for president in 2024?
Well, let me say this. I don't know. He seems to be indicating it. I don't know if he's playing with our heads or not. So let me say two things. First of all, on Sunday, November 13th, I'm going to a dinner where Donald Trump will be the keynote speaker.
Oh, really?
At the Zionist Organization of America in Manhattan, the annual ZOA dinner. They do a great job. Mort Klein and his crew at ZOA do a great job. Donald Trump's going to be there. Kevin McCarthy is going to be there, who's going to be the next Speaker of the House after the Republicans win the majority in the House of Representatives.
Very confident. Very confident.
Everybody knows that they're gonna win on Tuesday. They're gonna win between 25 and 40 seats, but people think that's not a lot because in 2010, Barack Obama. His party, the Democratic Party in 2010, lost over 60 seats. But you have to remember that in 2020, the Democrats didn't win as many seats as they thought they were going to win when Biden came into office because of all the funny business with the election, which we don't have to get into right now.
Right. Okay.
So is Donald Trump going to run? No,
and if he will run, are you going to endorse him?
I don't know. It's too early to think about that. But if he has,
I don't think it's too early to think about that.
If he has competition, if he has people like Ron DeSantis or people like
DeSantionos?
No, he called them DeSanctimonious. But if you have people like Ron DeSantis running, if you have people like Mike Pompeo, who's be a great formidable candidate, There's nothing wrong with there being a competition and there being a primary in the Republican Party, so the people could come out and through an open ballot, through voting, decide who they want to represent them in 2024 on the Republican ticket. There's nothing wrong with that. He's not the king. He's not the king of America.
He makes me a little nervous. And I think that,
well, you have to understand. First and foremost, he's an entertainer. You know,
yeah.
He has 16 years hosting The Apprentice on TV. So more than anything, he's an entertainer. And listen, he's like every other person on the earth. He has he has positive things about him and negative things about him.
Yeah. Well, listen, we'll see what happens with that. But the front page of the New York Post today was
what did it say?
Is big red letters, believe. If Jets can defy the odds, Zeldin can win. Well, obviously that's a reference to the New York Jets yesterday beating the Buffalo Bills. And what a game that was. What a game that was.
Yes.
The Bills, who were an amazing team last year, they went to the AFC Championship game, I believe, last year, and Josh Allen, who's a star quarterback. And the Jets, who find a way to lose as many games as possible. Not this year, but they're again, we discussed last episode epigenetics about the Knicks, the epigenetics of the Knicks could be up 25 and lose by 25. The Jets have these epigenetics that just they find ways to lose games, and they won yesterday, a game that they probably should have lost.
Well, I think it's I saw part of the game at the end. I think it's the defense was excellent.
Yeah.
Although I swore I was sure that last play of the game was going to be a flag on that play. That defender, I don't know who he was. That defender, he was not looking for the ball. He was watching, and he said he was watching the eyes of the receiver.
We'll show the play right here.
I don't think you're allowed to do that. He had his hands all over the guy.
Well,
I mean, either I think the referees wanted to go home. That could be the reason that. Maybe they had dinner dates. They wanted to go home. They didn't want to go into to overtime or give the Buffalo Bills the opportunity to score. I'm not saying that the referees are corrupt. I'm just saying that that was in any other game that would have been a pass interference, I think.
We'll show the play right here.
Okay, show the whole play.
Doesn't make it easy, and also is not able to be pushed away. He stayed attached, or what they call plastered to the receiver, and makes the biggest play of the afternoon.
Show how you have to notice how the cornerback for the Jets was.
That's Sauce. It was Sauce Gardner. I think it was Sauce Gardner.
I don't know anybody.
What type of name is Sauce?
I don't know.
It was Sauce.
Ask his mother. I don't know.
Maybe she had a good pastrami and turkey sandwich. And
maybe with hot sauce.
Yeah.
But the thing is that the rules, as far as I know, the limited amount of rules that I know for football, is that the defender has to be going to catch the ball.
I think that what the refs may have seen is that the receiver, I don't remember who the receiver was, but I think that the receiver, Gabe Davis, extended his arm on Sauce Gardner. So he tried creating space. So Sauce Gardner grabbed him, and the ref saw. Listen, they could have thrown a flag for offensive pass interference. They could have thrown it for defensive. They said it's a wash.
Let me just say that I think if you think that most of your viewers and listeners are people that are trying to discipline themselves not to watch the news, I doubt after watching a football game.
Really?
I doubt after watching a football game and trying to analyze the movements of Sauce. What's his name?
Sauce Gardner.
Sauce.
Anyways, the whole point
you agree?
The whole point of bringing up that is the New York Post. They are going hard to promote Lee Zeldin.
Always.
And something that we saw. That we discussed last night when prepping for the show was that the early voting turnout has been really, really good in some key places for Lee Zeldin. Primarily, the voting turnout, I can't find it now. I thought you sent it to me.
Borough Park, Williamsburg. Blocks. I heard it was blocks long.
Where did I see it?
I heard it was blocks long. And someone told me they went to vote here in the Lawrence Country Club.
One second.
The line was just too long. They went home. They're going to vote on Tuesday.
I did not go vote yet. I should.
Well, you can't vote today because today there's no more early voting.
Did you see that video? Did you see that video about these videos come out around election time, starting 5 years ago. But that video about you can't vote for Republican in this, you can't vote Republican. Only voting Democrat works right now.
I don't understand that. What do you mean?
I'll show it to you right now.
I didn't understand what you said. What did you just say?
Okay. With this election, you can vote in any
No,
precinct.
you said the Republican side is not what?
I don't have staff, so we are closed right now.
So for the Democrat, I can vote Democrat then?
You can vote Democrat if you
But
want
not
to.
Republican.
Not Republican, I'm sorry.
Okay, all right, thank you.
I don't know where that is, but like, I don't think it's as bad as it looks, to be honest.
Well,
I think there's a guy there. It may have been after hours. They're understaffed. Obviously, he shouldn't have said that you could vote Democrat, but you can't vote Republican.
And
But
actually, if someone said, if a poll watcher says to a person that wants to vote, we're short-staffed, you can only vote Democrat, not Republican, he's lying and he's a fraud, and he's trying to, steal an election. And they say that's more likely to happen on a presidential election because it's nationwide. In the local elections, the congressional elections, and the senatorial elections, and the gubernatorial elections, I think the staffs of the individual candidates are more focused. Like if you're in New York State, you have let's say you have let's say there's 5,000 voting stations in the entire state. It's possible for the Republican Party to have 10,000 people, two at each station, to make sure that everything is going according to the laws and the regulations. There's a lot of head games going on with elections. That's why this past summer, some of the newspapers reported that Kathy Hochul was 24% ahead of 24 points ahead of
even a
Lee
couple weeks
Zeldin.
ago, some.
There's still some polls showing her 11 points ahead.
Well, right now, going into election day, which is tomorrow, what are the polls showing?
I think the poll showing her ahead by 4 points.
4 or 5 points, really?
Yeah, but there's a margin of error, and there's a margin of error in those polls of 3 to 4 points.
Let me ask you a question. Well, if Lee Zeldin wins,
Yes.
what does that mean for us, the From Jews in New York?
What does it mean? What does it mean for the firm? What does it mean? What does it mean for New Yorkers? What do you have to
Because I don't
narrow
know.
everything down to from?
Because that's our listenership, the From Jews.
Not not necessarily.
That's on our listenership.
It's a core listenership. I wouldn't say it's exclusive listenership.
Hava, we're talking to the From Jews.
Okay, no, we're talking from that perspective. It means having a right-leaning type of person with a political background that is in favor of things like supports Israel. Okay, it's important to have a governor in New York that supports Israel.
I need more than that. I need more than that.
Okay, he's going to have hands off on yeshiva education.
Okay.
That the Democrats desperately want to undermine,
Okay.
as was demonstrated this past summer.
Okay.
He's going to crack down on. First of all, he's promised to get rid of the district attorney in Manhattan, Alvin Bragg, who lets every criminal. You push somebody off a subway station platform, he gets run over. As long as he's not murdered, if he's able to get rescued by other passengers, or he's able to crawl up on the platform himself, the guy that pushed him gets free that afternoon.
I gotta show this video that I saw last week. I'll show it right now on the screen. It's a video of Kathy Hochul on, I think it was CNBC, and the anchor was sort of telling her how she does not feel safe in New York. She doesn't feel safe walking to the subway at night, and Kathy really didn't have a response. So to me, someone who I've been in New York City lately, and it's a scary place to be. It really is a scary
I
place to be.
was also there a few weeks ago, and I had to walk 1 block from a meeting at a restaurant on 54th Street, I think it was, to a garage on 53rd Street. And it wasn't that late. It was about 8 o'clock at night. It was getting dark, but it was pretty scary.
Pretty scary.
I got to tell you, you have suspicious-looking characters lurking on the corners. This was on 54th in Lexington, Madison. This is the heart of upscale New York City.
So we really here at the Daily Thread, we can't stress enough the importance of just going out and vote. To go out and vote, like you vote for whoever you want to vote for, but you need to go out and vote. It's we got new coffee. All right, this just in.
Is that better than this coffee? That's for you?
No, it's for you.
Oh, great! Thank you. All right.
We know the importance here at the Daily Thread of hot steaming coffee, because if it doesn't burn your insides, it's not coffee.
That's not it. It's also, it depends how much. Also, the caffeine determines how much we say about everything.
Oh, okay. So maybe you should wait to drink that after.
The more caffeine you have in you, the smarter you get.
Yeah.
And the more you have to say about things. That's hot. That's good.
Tweeted 17 hours ago by Jeff. Why do people have last names like this? Passon? Payson? Passon. Jeff Passon.
Basin. Passon. Oh, Passon. Okay.
Star closer Edwin Diaz and the New York Mets are in agreement on a 5-year, $102 million contract pending his physical. Well, sound the trumpets because that's exciting for Mets fans, isn't it?
That's $20 million a year. Okay, I read that he got an $18 million signing bonus.
$18 million signing bonus.
So that comes off the 102.
That's sort of the signing bonus they give at 5TJT, no?
Yes, also in meaningful minutes, it's a signing bonus.
It's a good signing bonus.
Yeah. Listen, he had a good year.
Are athletes overpaid?
Athletes are entertainers, and they have short careers. And that's something you have to factor into the fact about how much money they make. I think the average career of a football player, for example, the way they get
3 years
around, is 3 years. I think it's 5 years.
I think it's 3.
But so a guy comes.
Well, we'll agree on 4.
Okay, 4 years. A guy comes into the league at the age of 23, and by 28, he's beaten to the point where he can hardly walk. So he better make himself $20-30 million.
I hear you.
What's he going to do after that? He's going to become a busboy in the Maccabee restaurant in Iowa.
Listen, they got good pastrami in Turkey, I heard.
Yes. Was he going to serve Doug Emhoff?
As we wind down this episode of the Daily Thread, curious.
This thing bothers me. Gets in my way. What? Gets in my way. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't even know what I was going to say. I don't even know. I think we should end the episode right there because that thing bothers you.
Something about winding down, you said.
Yeah.
Wind down.
The last few words on this episode. Just a couple of updates on stories. Kyrie Irving, obviously we spoke about last week a bunch of times. Kyrie has a minimum suspension of 5 games. There is a list of things that he needs to do in order to be accepted back by the Brooklyn Nets. Nike dropped him. Sean Marks, the GM of the Nets, are not impressed with him. Many members of the media have really gone against him, but don't worry. A clip from our podcast on TikTok, which has over 65,000 views, has over 800 comments, all in support of Kanye West and Kyrie Irving, and most of them are anti-Semitic.
Listen, let me tell you, nothing's going to happen in 5 games. Kyrie Irving.
I think it's the last time we see him in a Brooklyn Nets jersey.
No, he has to be. I think it was Charles Barkley who made the comment about if he would have said what he said about any other ethnic group or religious group, he would have been banned.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he should be banned for life, but he really needs to sit out this season and have some intense education and retraining. Nothing's happening in 5 games. 5 games is like, it's like a little frosting on top of a cupcake, You don't buy
someone's hungry.
You don't buy that's frosting.
Yeah.
You need some more really cupcake action. You have to get to what's inside. Is there custard inside? Is there?
We're really going with this metaphor. And the other update on a story is Elon Musk. Elon Musk, who we now know is controlling Twitter, he suspended Kathy Griffin.
She tries to be a comedian, but she's
Kathy
not
Griffin,
funny.
who is a
She's not
comedian.
funny.
What did Kathy Griffin do to get suspended on Twitter nowadays? She changed her profile picture to Elon Musk, and she changed her name on Twitter to Elon Musk. And Elon suspended her, and he said that anybody who tries to imitate another account without explicitly stating parody,
This is a parody, man.
will be suspended. I like Elon Musk. I'm happy he's in charge of Twitter, but to me that looks like he's getting bullied and he's like punching back, and might scare some people.
Could you open an account in anyone's name on Twitter?
Yeah.
Really?
But now he changed that rule. Unless you explicitly state.
You could have multiple names.
There's a lot of parody accounts.
So what does that mean? It has to say parody in it?
If you're a parody account, it has to say parody.
And she's the only person that thought of opening up a Twitter account under the name Elon Musk?
Without stating parody? Maybe.
I don't know the rules of Twitter. I'm busy with my 500,000 unopened emails.
Yeah, and your 8 hours of screen time.
It said 7 hours and 3 minutes, if I remember correctly.
But anyways, if we could leave you with one message today, that's get off your screen for today. It's a beautiful day outside. Maybe take a walk. Maybe get some sun. And
don't you ever see people crossing your street reading their emails?
Yeah, that's
all
probably
right.
how some
So
accidents
you
happen
go outside, enjoy a beautiful day, and I just want to say that I'm not playing games on those phones. You know, that's a business being run on the phone.
Absolutely.
You know, you have 3 phones, like we said a few minutes ago. So,
anyways,
I haven't heard an explanation of that yet.
we'll see you all later. Have a good day.
Have a great day.